There's a giant storm happening here, and it's great. If it was night time, I'd be out dancing naked in it because it's been nice and warm. But it's not night time, and I think there's a bit of hail mixed in, and I don't need any additional brain damage. Anyway, um, I replied to someone's comment about that they were finding themselves not doing whatever it was they wanted to do. I assume artwork. It may have been something else because they didn't think they were going to be good enough, and couldn't make money from it and things like that. Okay, couple of little things before I start off on this. Hobbies. You don't have to make money from hobbies. You don't have to be any good at hobbies. Just do what you enjoy. If no one is being hurt, perfect. Doesn't matter. Right? Screw what anyone else thinks. Just enjoy yourself. It is not illegal to enjoy yourself. Okay. So, people worry about if they're no good or things like that. I've told the story before and I'm going to keep telling it because it's a good example. Back in 2006, I had the equivalent of a mini stroke, right? Completely decimated me. Actually, more than decimated me, because decimated me is 10%. It nonated me? Knocked me down by like 70-80%. It really knocked the stuffing out of me. Roll on to when I was 50, which is 6 years ago now. And they had adult gymnastics at Kuma Gymnastics, and I joined that because I always wanted to do gymnastics. I'd never done it before in my life. I was overweight, unfit. I had pain issues. I still have pain issues, and I went along and did it. I was probably more than 20 years older than the next youngest person in the class. I think there was a 30-year-old, so it would have been 20 years, but most of them were below 20. Most of them were below the age of 30. And I went along, and just the warm-ups killed me. Like, absolutely killed me. And then I had the rest of the hour-long lesson. Oh, I'd come home. When I first started, I was going once a week. It literally took me days to get over. The first one I went to, I just stopped, my body and muscles finally stopped complaining about 2 days before the next lesson. Oh, but I enjoyed it, and I could feel it. I felt like it was doing me good. Not just my body, but also up here. So I kept going. And over the course of couple of months, very slowly, it started taking me 4 days to recover. Then 3 days to recover. Then 2 days. I was coming home and having hot baths because I was just so wrecked. And I don't like baths. But yeah, and with my pain issues, I missed a few lessons, which always annoyed me. And my improvement was a lot slower than my classmates. But that didn't matter. I was always the worst in the class, but that didn't matter because I liked it. There's no way I could make money out of being a gymnast, and I was never going to be great at it. But within a few months, I could see that I was better than I had been at the start, and that was good enough for me. I was having a great time. And by the end of that first year, I did my first ever unassisted forward somersault on the trampoline. And that was great. And that was my last lesson for that year. And then COVID hit and buggered it all up, and they haven't had adult gymnastics since. But you get that. These things happen. I've done repairs to individual tiles at this house that I'm in currently. And I learned everything I did off YouTube, and my tile repair wasn't great, but it was good enough for what we needed. So that was great. And I recently did a tile repair at the new house, and it was awful. And a good chunk of that was the original tile job was really dodgy, and the tile was a slate tile that was literally coming apart in pieces because it had been really badly water damaged prior to that. And so it's an awful messed up job, and we're going to have to retile that area one day. But for the moment, it did well enough. And there are times where well enough is all you need. Look, things have learning curves. Everything has a learning curve, right? And that learning curve is always really sharp at the beginning, right? It might seem monstrous. It might seem insurmountable. And that's because you're starting it from basics. But as you go on, it gets easier. You know, the first 80% of what you're going to need to know, you will learn in that initial chunk. Then after that, it's just refining it. So you've got to think about what's holding you back on the things that you're wanting to do. Right? Like, some of us can't physically do things. Again, I was never going to be a great gymnast. Didn't matter. I enjoyed it. And if they brought back adult gymnastics tomorrow, sign me up. But what's holding you back? There's a lot of things that can be holding you back. It can be self-doubt. It can be the person that I replied to that prompted all this was talking about how social media made them feel like they had to be great at it and how they had to be able to maybe make money out of it. And that's all bull dust. You don't have to make money out of it. You don't have to be great at it. You just have to enjoy it and not hurt yourself or other people. So, you know, what's holding you back? Is it stuff like that? Is it unrealistic expectations on yourself that you have to be some world-class expert? Because look, in any given discipline, there is one person who is the best in the world at any one time. And everyone else is below that person. So what does it matter if you're the second best, the 10th best, or the 1,000,000th best? Just go for it. Another thing to look at with what's holding you back is it crap from your past? I don't whistle much because all due to one comment that still bothers me now. Like, not much phases me, but even now, when I whistle, I remember my dad saying, "Geez, you look like a bloody monkey when you whistle." And even now, when I whistle, well, I don't whistle very well because I don't practice it because I feel uncomfortable. And one day I will whistle. But, you know, the point is that crap can be sitting there that you need to unpack too. It's why I say every person needs some psych help at some point, right? Just to unpack the crap that they didn't even know they were holding on to. And when it comes to approaching this thing, approach it like babies and small children do. Babies and small children are not afraid to fail. Right? When they draw a picture, they don't care if it's crap. Right? They don't care if we think it's crap. They think it's a masterpiece. They think, that bloody Mona Lisa. Oh, that's crap. Look at this squiggle I did. It's brilliant. And that's it. Grab hold of that. They're not scared to fail. Don't be scared to fail. Just enjoy yourself, because that's what they're doing. If we're all scared of failure, none of us will be able to walk. None of us will be able to talk. None of us will be able to write or read. So don't worry, you don't have to be the best. And the last thing I want to say on this is find the people who will support you. And I don't mean financially, though that's always nice. But I mean the people who will go, "Oh yeah, look, that's not your best effort, but you've done other good ones and you'll do more good ones, and I like that." The people who will sit there and say, "Hey, you're giving it a go, and that's what matters." That's what you want. Screw the people who think you need to make money out of it. Screw the people who don't think you're very good at it. My mum started painting at around late 60s, early 70s, and by any decent metric, her paintings were crap. Right? But she loved doing them, and I loved seeing what she did. She did some that absolutely delighted me, even though they weren't very good. But I loved the spirit of them, and that's it. So go out, do the thing. Be that self. Screw the haters, screw the money makers. Just do the stuff you want to do. And live your best life. And if you need someone to sort of cheer you on, sing out, I'll cheer you on. Because, hey, we've all been there and we all need a cheer on now and again. Mwah! Love you, my freaky darlings.